Good evening to all. Thank you once again for the participants for the passions. So under Chennai Institute Technology Business Incubation Forum, I welcome you once again to our today's innovative pitch series. So எல்லா நாளும் நம்ம different pitch series different entrepreneurs or exposure series பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம். So under that today we have Mr. Santosh Muruganathan with us. So I think maybe somewhere maybe familiar with Kolapasi. It's a brand name like நம்ம ஒரு ஈஸியா அந்த ஒரு brand name recognize பண்ணோம்னா அந்த அளவுக்கு அவரோட நேம் recognize பண்ணிருப்போம். So that's why அந்த brand nameக்கு என்ன ஒரு வேல்யூ அதே மாதிரி தான் அவங்களோட டேக் அவே ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்ஸ் லைக் அவரோட மெனு வைஸ் ஆர் குவாலிட்டி வைஸ். ஸோ லைக் தட் ஒரு பிராண்டிங் வைஸ்ல எப்படி ஒரு ரீச் இருக்காங்களோ ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி அவர் டிராவல் பண்ண சைக்கிள் that will be a different scenario. So everyone is getting exposure through different entrepreneurs and through different mentors and through different experts. Under that, today we are going to see the story of Kolapasi. Then you can have an exposure from Mr. Santosh, எப்படி ஒரு லைஃப் சைக்கிள் கிராஸ் பண்ணி வந்தது, அதே மாதிரி how they are standing in the market, அது மட்டும் இல்லாம so we will get some inputs from him for mainly for the startups who are going to start a new business. And already you will come to know actually how they are still survive in the market. Mr. Santosh, thank you for the acceptance for having today's session. Neenga proceed பண்ணுங்க. So have a great session today.
Pleasure is mine. I just want to have a few hello from the participants. Can the participants just come up and say hi, hello, at least introduce at least 10-20 people so I know I'm talking to live people, you know, so I don't believe the numbers. I want to really understand. Our students irukangala pinadi illa neenga ஏமாத்துறீங்களா எனக்கு தெரியல.
Exactly. Just request participants please provide your response.
So that I also know that these guys are not sleeping or these guys are not watching Netflix on the other tab. Okay, I want to make sure that these guys are alive.
Yeah,
these guys or girls, whatever. Okay, so people just come up and just say hello and just introduce yourself. Let's take 2 minutes to have the introduction from you guys.
Yes, there is. You are getting from 2 responses. So we'll get, I think maybe we'll get more. So we expect more. I think Mr. Santosh will start after.
Okay. So yeah. So what I want is, you guys can be very active in chat. Okay, this is not a lecture. Okay, class. So I'm not going to bore you guys. Okay, I'm not a professor or lecturer by any stretch of imagination. So feel free and you can use the chat to reply and do whatnot. You know, you can do funny comments. You can troll me. I don't have a problem. Okay, class. So just have fun and enjoy. The last thing I want to do is, no session put. I don't want to put mokka. Okay, you guys are already tired. College po mudilla. You guys are not able to see your friends and whatnot, right? So let me take probably another 30-40 minutes to go through. Instead of talking about the story of Kolapasi, what I've done is I've compiled 6 things which we did differently, because of which we were able to stand out, which we were able to still be alive and be in the market. So I'm going to talk about 6 different things what Kolapasi did in the last probably 7, this is 8th year. So it will be interesting. Regular the case study vai ella bore adikadhu. Okay, so let me start. Google, Nasreen, Ashok, Google, Rajkumar, enna avlo 4 பேர் தான் இருக்காங்க, மீதில எங்க? Guys, you need to start using the chat box. Okay,
it's very difficult.
Let's start.
Yeah, you can proceed there. I think
எல்லாம் தூங்கிட்டு இருப்பாங்களோ ஒருவேளை பசங்க?
Maybe but active, no issue.
Okay, cool. So once I'm sharing the screen, I think I will not be able to look at the other chat window. Okay,
yeah.
So sir, at least you be alive. Somebody be on the call. So
no, I will be alive.
So நீங்க சும்மா அத சொல்லிட்டே இருங்க, so that I know that somebody is watching, because I'm not able to see my video right now.
Yeah.
So guys, guys and girls, this is an MBA department, right? I'm talking to.
No, it's an engineering department, and I think some of startups also there. It's open to all only.
Okay, fine. So Kolapasi is nothing but a chain of takeaway and delivery outlets, and I think in Coimbatore we have a couple of dining outlets also. We have started a sharing dining space with other restaurants, and so we have added one more feather to our business model. So I'll talk about it a little bit later. So what is Kolapasi? Kolapasi is nothing but a chain of takeaway and delivery only outlets started in 2013. Today we are in Chennai, Coimbatore. Next city is Tirupur, Erode, Tirupattur, and Bangalore. Okay, so these are the 4 cities coming up in the next 2 months. So okay, cool. These are current locations. Below location we shut down in Chennai, and we're opening 2 more. These are old one. Okay, so I've not updated the PPT yet. So the first topic I want to talk about, what is the first, I'm going to talk about 6 different things which we did different in Kolapasi, right? So the first thing what we did different, and the first philosophy, we followed in Kolapasi is called the purple cow philosophy. So what is this purple cow philosophy? Purple cow philosophy, let's assume you and your friend, anybody, Pugal and Raj, Ashok, let's assume you're going on a highway. You're going to Pondicherry. Okay, lockdown, you're going to Pondicherry. போகும்போது லெஃப்ட்ல பீச் ஓரமா அப்படியே ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு ஃபார்ம் மாதிரி இருக்கு. பீச்சுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு ஃபார்ம் இருக்கு. அந்த ஃபார்ம்ல வந்து ஒரு 20 மாடு பார்க்கும், ஒரு 20-30 மாடு பார்க்கும். Do you think Raj or Pugal or Ashok, or you guys going to stop and take a picture of that mad or a cow? No, I don't think so, right? It's normal, it's commonplace, right? அதனால நீங்க பார்த்து போயிட்டே இருப்பீங்க. பட் அந்த 20 மாடுல ஒரு மாடு மட்டும் பர்பிள் கலர் இது மாதிரி ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணுவீங்க. You actually stop the car, you stop the bike, நீங்க போட்டோ எடுத்தீங்கன்னா அது வித்தியாசமா சொல்லிட்டு not only you'll take a picture of it, you also talk about it. நீங்க பாண்டிச்சேரி போயிட்டு அப்புறம் you will be talking about it, right? So the idea of purple cow is you have to be unique in the marketplace. You have to be different. There has to be some factor, some X factor that people will start talking about it. So gone are the days where you can build an average business, because to build an average business, it's going to be extremely tough in the market. There will be a lot of players like you. So you have to find that uniqueness. So adhanalada we wanted to keep a name to stand out from the crowd, right? But the small problem with that also is you have to make sure that you have to be cool, you have to be unique, but you should not be stupid, right? There's only a thin red line which separates being unique and being stupid also. So you have to draw that line. So we decided to make sure that we are a little bit unique, a little bit different. Although we kept this name called Kolapasi, because today you might not have eaten food at Kolapasi, but once you hear the name Kolapasi, right, you will never forget it. In the last year or maybe the last 2 years, you would have gone to 100 restaurants. If I ask you all the names of the restaurants you have visited, 90% restaurant pere marandirpinga. But even if you cross Kolapasi while going on a highway, right, in the Kolapasi pere paathale, you will never forget it, because that stems from the philosophy of purple cow philosophy. So let me talk about a couple of examples so you understand more deeper in concept what is purple cow. Okay. So on the top right corner, there's a company called Little Mismatch in the US. And they make socks. They only make socks for high school girls. Our market is for high school girls. So the idea of this kind of the sock company is no two socks are going to be the same color, same style, or same pattern. That is so unique, right? We've all been trained our entire life that socks ரெண்டுமே ஒண்ணா இருக்கணும், ரெண்டும் ஒரே மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஸோ அதுல என்ன ப்ராப்ளம்னா, அந்த பேர் ஆஃப் சாக்ஸ்ல ஒன்று தொலைச்சிருந்தா நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ண முடியாது, ரைட்? ஸோ யூ எண்ட் அப் throwing out the other sock. But here the concept itself is both the socks don't match each other. So you can ஒன்று தொலைச்சா கூட பரவாயில்ல, you can mix and match it with any other sock right now. So just by being unique and being in that, and the purple cow and the X factor இருக்கிறதுனால, these guys were able to grow tremendously. They targeted high school girls because high school girls wanted a topic to start a conversation with their friends during the interval time. School, like in 11 o'clock, in the 2:30 interval time. So they can go and show to their friends, hey, look at my new design, or look at the way I've matched up my socks or whatnot. So it became a starting point for a conversation. So that was the whole idea. And they became a multi-million-dollar company. See, on the left bottom is another company called Dutch Boy Paint. So another very uniquely placed company. So the whole idea of Dutch Boy Paint was that they were trying to solve a basic problem and also solve a packaging issue. So in general, if you want to use a paint box, like you want to use a paint box in India, right? The paint boxes are cylindrical in nature, like this, like they're cylindrical in nature, and you have the holder on the top, right? Like you have nothing. So if you want to pour paint, you have to lift the paint box and you have to tilt your left hand, tilt the bottom hand to pour paint, right? So painters, when they were painting, they have to stop the painting, the work they're doing, and again they have to use both hands to tilt it and then paint. So generally, the way the paint is, you have a small box, something called bowl, where you pour the paint and you start painting it. So what this company did is they solved the simple problem by putting a cup holder on the paint box. So you don't need to use two hands right now. Cup holder, you just have to lift it and pour it. You take it and paint it. So, and they patented the design. So nobody else can use that design. Just by doing that, these guys have become a multi-million-dollar company. So the first point for all of you guys is, if you ever want to do a startup or a business or whatnot, think how you can be purple in nature, purple in color. So second philosophy in Kolapasi, which we follow religiously, is give before you get. everybody wants people to come and buy their product and service, but you don't know how to bring the people to, the whole point is you don't know why would people come back to you? Why would people come and search out for you, right? So there has to be something. So we want everybody to come and give their business, but we don't want to give anything before that, right? So what we thought, instead of asking for business people, we started giving. So what we did, any order which comes to Kolapasi, we started giving free samples along with the existing orders. The reason is, let's assume Pugal is ordering a biryani, all right? So along with the biryani, what we will do, we will also give a sample of something else along with the biryani. The reason is, now Pugal has 2 to 3 products to sample, right? He has 3 products to eat, and even if he like 1 out of 3, there is a very high chance that he is going to come back to Kolapasi again. But if he's going to order only 1 product, and I'm going to give only 1 product, right? And if he does not like that 1 product which he ordered from Kolapasi, even though there is another product which he might like, right? He's not going to give me a second chance. Because the statistic says that if you do not like the food from a place, the chances to come back to the place is less than 5 to 10%. So 90% of the times you're not going to come back to the restaurant. So we were very petrified about the fact that, what if Pukal does not like the food he's tasting, but he might like something else. So to offset that, we started giving free samples. And what happened is people found us to be more genuine, because why would somebody give a free sample, right? When in a market where everybody wants money from the customer, we're willing to give money back to the customer in terms of free food and free sample. So that's one. Second, he tastes 2 to 3 products, right? Now there's a very high chance that he will like one of them. Third, what happened is our return ordering ratio went through the roof. These guys came back to us again and started ordering. So whatever he gave us samples, people started ordering full portions of that. So we knew the product was working. If that product was not, we were not able to get orders, so we know the product is not working, so we would switch the product. So it worked as R&D for us. It solved the problem. It built a great customer service for us. It built a good reputation for customers. It solved most of our problems. So second thing which we religiously did was give before you get. The best way of marketing of your product or service is somebody using or tasting or feeling your product or service. Not on an ad, not on TV or whatnot, but literally tasting or using your product or service. So there is no better marketing than that. So we realized that a long time back. So third philosophy we follow in Kolapasi is people before profit. And so what worked great for Kolapasi is the model that within 7 to 8 lakhs you can start an outlet, a franchise outlet, and less than 50,000 rupees you can run a restaurant. Any other restaurant, you need 1.5 to 2 lakhs to run a restaurant. But us, less than 50,000 rupees, you can run a restaurant. Our operational expenses are very less. The start capital expenses are very less. So we built a beast of a phenomenal model, and that's why we were able to grow even in spite of COVID, right? It took us 4 years to go to 0 to 4 outlets in Chennai, but it took less than 4 months for us to do that in Coimbatore. After the lockdown, we have 3 right now. 4th one work is going on in Coimbatore right now. So we built a great model, but one thing was missing in Kolapasi is that interaction with customers. 90 to 95% of our orders came through online. So none of our customers actually knew where our outlet was. They never talked to us, but they ordered our food. We thought, okay, how do we connect with the customers? How do we make sure that we tell our customers that we love you, that we're willing to take care of you, that we will do anything to make sure that to win your trust? So we thought, okay, again, we use the Bubble Curve philosophy. Okay, why don't we write a handwritten greeting card to customers? So we started writing handwritten greeting card to our customers, and it worked wonders. I want to share a story with you guys. So if you see the picture on the right, but this happened on 30th July. This is the same day when Abdul Kalam, our ex-president Abdul Kalam, was cremated. He passed away on 27th of July, and 30th of July was his cremation in Rameshwaram. It was a national holiday. So vividly remember that. And I was in the outlet in Nelson Mandapam Road. And around 12:45, I got a call, and there's a lady, there's a girl on the other line. And she says, I'd like to place an order, whatnot. And I found her voice was not right. Something was wrong. I felt she was not feeling well. I asked her, ma'am, is everything okay on your side? Your voice doesn't seem to be good. She said, yes, I'm not feeling well. I want to order some food. I said, if you're not feeling well, why don't you order some soup? She said, oh, you guys have soup? No, we don't have soup. Probably you can order soup from a different restaurant. So I was genuinely interested in making sure that we take care of the customer. I was not trying to sell any food there. I said, if you want, you can go order from outside. Okay, not a problem. I don't want to order outside. I'll order from you guys. And she ordered a veg combo. And she also puts in a request that, can you add 2 bottles of water on the side? You can see that. I said, sorry, ma'am, we don't sell water bottles. I'll tell you the reason why in a later slide. But what I told her is, what I can ask our delivery person to pick up a couple of water bottles on the way, and he will deliver it to you along with the food. She said, okay, fine. And then I kept a call, and and then immediately my kidney started to work. Right? Then I said, okay, man, I think this the person is not feeling well. This is a time to show some show some sympathy or empathy or whatever is the right word. So we want to connect with the customer. So what I did, I took a greeting card. I said, let's see if you see my handwriting. Right? Hello, Bhargavi. Get well soon. Take care of your health and take good rest. And Team Kolapasi. I put this greeting card, and the delivery went off. And the interesting part, the most interesting part is that the delivery person, right? See, in Kolapasi, we don't have a HR team. We don't have training. It's a monkey see, monkey do business. Whatever we do, our employees, they see that and they replicate that with the customers. That's all they know. So when this guy went and delivered the food, so he ended up asking the customer, ma'am, I heard you're not feeling well. Do you want me to pick up some medicine from the closest pharmacy shop? And I didn't tell that person that this customer is sick, but he ended up asking them. I don't know how, I don't understand why even he asked the question. But so what happened? So the customer was extremely moved. Right? Just imagine you're feeling well. She's actually from Singapore. She's Indian, raised in Singapore, and she had come to India to work. And she's not feeling well. She orders food from a restaurant, and the food comes, and the delivery boy asks her, saying, you want tablets or whatnot. And then she opens up the order, and there's a greeting card inside the order, and that's it. The customers floored. And long story short, and she took a picture of that and she put it in a Facebook group, and this picture went viral. Right. So evening I called her and said, thanks, Bhargavi, for putting a picture. We've been writing cards for 3 years, and nobody actually had put it up on internet or something like that. So and long story short, she again went to Singapore. She wanted to take one of our franchisees. At that point of time, we were not able to expand to Singapore. Now she's back in Chennai. She's married. She's a very, very close friend of mine. We're like family friends. I know her parents. She knows my wife, my parents, and whatnot. So we are very, very close friends. And the point I'm trying to say is that it's because of the reason that we put people in front of profit. So we want to first take care of people, and people will bring in the profits in due course of time. So in any business, you just cannot look at profit as the only parameter. If you're not able to add value to your customers, right, you might get profit initially, but if you're not able to add value to your customers, it will drag you down. So that's a third philosophy which we follow in Kolapasi. Fourth one is embrace adversity. So one thing I can guarantee you for sure to everyone in this live session, everyone, that you will face adversity in your life. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Either you will face a financial adversity, or you will face a relational adversity, some problem with boyfriend, girlfriend, appa, amma, pakitira, auntie, whatever, or you will face a health adversity. You will say, hey, I'm very rich, my daddy is very rich. Okay, wait. You will face some health adversity. Not that I want you to face it, but eventually, either one of these three, you will face it. So, when you are facing adversity in your business or your life, right, you have to embrace it. You just cannot run away from it. You have to run into it. I'll give you a classic example. Now, how many people have seen a boxing match? So, in a boxing match, right, what is the concept of boxing? The two banyan podada saniyanga fighting. Right? Both of the guys will not have a bunion. Right? They'll be fighting. They're trying to kill each other. That's concept called boxing. Right? So in a boxing, if you see, something weird always happens. When in middle of the fight, right, suddenly those two guys, they hug each other. Have you realized? They hug each other. The reason is because in a boxing match, the maximum impact of a punch happens at 2 feet. At this distance, 2 to 3 feet, maximum impact of punch happens at this distance, right? But so this is called the danger zone. So when you are fighting, what happens is when you enter this zone, when you cross that and you enter this 1.5 feet to 1 foot zone, it's advisable to fall on the opponent than to go back, because when you fall onto the opponent, I will not be able to hit you. My impact is almost close to zero here. I can't hit you there. But if you go back, right, the impact will be extremely hard. The punch will be extremely hard on your face. So that is exactly what happened to you in college, right? You might have one arrear in your first semester or second semester. If you start crying, and oh my God, I got arrear now, that's all, my life is gone. If you start sulking about it, right, the one will become 10 in 2 years, right? Instead of that, yes, shit happens. I failed. I did not study well. You own up the mistake, you embrace the adversity and go into the problem. Never run away from the problem, run into the problem. So one of the biggest adversities we faced was Chennai floods. So we were growing fantastically, 4 outlets, our month-over-month sales was growing fantastic. We were doing great stuff. This is in 2015 August, Adyar outlet started. We were doing beautiful. And by 2015 November, mid of November, the first set of floods started. And during that time, I got a call from a company called Naga Rava. They're from Dindikal, I believe, down south. And they called me, the operation manager called me and said, Santosh, we will give you a quarter ton, like 250 kgs of Rava. Can you make some upma or khichdi or something like that? And your charge is very less. Don't just your labor and your oil, blah, 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 whatever. Just base it. So we charge like 5 rupees or something per box. And they asked us to do 5,000 boxes. So we did 5,000 boxes and we gave it to them. And that evening, me and my Aditya, the co-founder, so we both were sitting and talking. Something is fundamentally wrong now. Hey, somebody all the way from down south, those guys are calling us and asking us to do something for Chennai floods. Like we are right now in Chennai, and we have like 4 outlets. We have to do something for those people. We have to do something about it. And we decided, okay, cool, let's do it. So we started a campaign. So we sent an SMS to all of our customers. We have a very, very close customer base because samples put all the customers, greeting cards put all the customers. So when the moment we sent an SMS campaign to saying that we are raising funds to make food for flood victims, within half an hour we hit 3 lakhs. So we had to resend another SMS blast to all of our customers like that. Sorry, we are not collecting any more money because we did not know what to do with the 3 lakhs. We were expecting something like maybe 30,000 to max 50,000. So we will put something because we did 30,000 boxes, 5,000 boxes just that week before, like the week before. So that will go into another 5 or 10,000 maximum, right? And the whole idea was to do that much. But then suddenly we had 3 lakhs in the campaign. And we had to close the campaign. We had to refuse 4 more lakhs. We had to refuse 4 more lakhs of not getting the money from customers. So then we ended up doing 30,000 food boxes. We did 1 box for 10 rupees. So 30,000 food boxes we cooked and we sent out. This is in the middle of around 20th of November. So and then 10 days and Chennai almost came back to normal. Then the second set of floods started. December 1 and 2. It is raining like 24/7, crazy, continuous 24/7 rains, and our centralist kitchen is getting flooded slowly in West Mamla. Our first kitchen was in West Mamla, Chennai, so the kitchen is slowly getting flooded. The area itself was slowly getting flooded, and I used to stay in Ashok Nagar, and in that area also starting to slowly get flooded. So around that time, so this was Tuesday night. I think Tuesday night, I get a call from a doctor called Shruti from Coimbatore. She calls me and said, Santosh, I know your cousin's friend, blah, blah, blah. I saw you've done some work for the first set of floods. I'm trying to raise a campaign. I'm going to start a campaign, online campaign to raise funds for you guys so you guys can go and cook food for the flood victims. I said, okay, go ahead. Can I use your, she asked me pictures. I said, yeah, please use her pictures in Facebook. So she took the pictures and started a campaign. She said, my goal was to raise 20 to 30,000 rupees. That's her goal, right? And at the same time, our centralist kitchen in West Mamla got flooded. So I'm not able to go to my kitchen from my house. It's like only 1 kilometer. So the next day morning, what happens? Slowly, the water in Ashok Nagar starts to raise. Right in front of my house, the water is slowly raising, is increasing. And our power is gone already. I'm running my phone in power bank or whatnot with the UPS. Okay, my power is gone. So at that point of time, I go and check my mobile app. I check my app just to understand, okay, how much funds are there in my in our company account. So generally, it's less than 5,000 rupees. Okay, So just go and checking, and suddenly when I open up, there's 15 lakhs in our bank account. There's 15 lakhs in our bank account. I just couldn't understand what something's wrong. I was counting these zeros. I was zero. 15 lakhs, 1.5 lakhs, 15 crores. The 15 crores, I'm Vijay Malaya, UK company. Okay, 15 crores, 15 lakhs. The problem was, we had put our Facebook post during the first set of floods. We had put our bank account details, our HDFC bank account details, we had put. So what happened with the same set of people who had put in money for the first time, okay, they started putting in money without even asking us, assuming that we will cook for the second round of floods also. We didn't tell anybody. We did not put a single post that we're going to cook because our kitchen itself is flooded. But Anna Makkal automatically assumed that we are Avengers of Chennai Mari. They started putting in money. So I'm shocked right now. Now look at my situation right now. Centralized kitchen, power out. The entire area is 5 foot of water. You can't even enter that area. The area could be about 5 foot of water. By the time, or about afternoon, my own house, my rented house, was in 3 foot of water. So Nana, Amapa, wife, we had to go take refuge in our apartment. First of all, we are staying in somebody else's house. And there is 15 lakhs in account. See, in India, it's very difficult to get money from somebody else until they emotionally connect with you. Right? You go and ask for a startup, they will not give you money. But you go and ask for religion, something like that, there's a good chance they might give you money. Right? Until they're emotionally connected with you, they will not give you money. So these people, they've given us the money without even asking right now. So if you don't cook food and give it to people, Kali, I'm dead meat. Right? All 3 years of our hard work will go down in 1 minute down the drain. Right? And in social media, it's so easy. Look at these guys, they got money and they cheated or whatnot. It's so easy. So now, what would I do? Just imagine. I'm completely cornered. Right? I'm in somebody else's house. The kitchen is gone. It's fully flooded. Now, what will I do? Just imagine that all your 3 years of hard work is just down to that one point of time. That's just this one moment. Then the next day, around Thursday, around 2-3 o'clock, the water receded. So we came down and my mom and whatnot, we went to our in-laws house, my in-laws house in Ananagar. I called my friend called Sendil. He runs this rice mill. So I called him, Sendil, I need some place. Now I want to start cooking for the flood bill. He said, okay, come here. We have a place, not a problem. I also have a UPS or something where we can switch on the lights so you can start working. So then I ordered this Anta Gunda, all these cylinder and all I ordered, and we started cylinder. We had to beg and borrow from people who were close by, and we started cooking. So what started with 7-8 people? This is the amount of people who started cooking on Thursday night. This Thursday night, 9-10 o'clock, around 10 o'clock, we start cooking. In 3.5 days time, okay, we ended up cooking 1,70,000 food boxes. 1,70,000 food boxes in close to 92 hours. Right? It all started from that single moment of me pushed completely into the corner. That I had 2 choices. I can easily cry, oh, my house is flooded. How can I easily cry that, I would have shed crocodile tears. I could easily try and put the blame game. Sorry, I can't do anything. But I had other choices. I had to go and save my brand, save our brand. So I had no other choice. So I had to go and do something about it. So that's the lesson. That's a lesson to be learned in that is when you're hit with adversity, don't run away from it, run into it, embrace it, right? You have no other option. You have to pass and you have to come out. So that's the lesson from that one. So 5th one, just only one more, 5 and 6, just 2 more. 5th one is stick to your values. So 1 second. So, couple of interesting things. One interesting thing in Kolapasi is that we don't sell bottled water like the Kinley, Aquafina water. We don't sell bottled water because we believe in a philosophy or we believe in a thought process that water should not commoditized. Water should not get commoditized. Water is a natural resource. It has to be available for everyone. We somehow did not feel right to make money by selling water. So we said, okay, let's not sell water. Anybody who comes to our outlet, let them get free water. Because the first thing they do in a restaurant is put you a bottle of water and they try to charge you for that, right? We said it doesn't make sense. That's not us. That's not our character. That's not our DNA. So the problem with water is that the main reason when we figure out what is the reason why people end up buying bottled water outside. It's because they don't carry their own water bottle, right? This was a habit 20, 30 years back, but nobody's doing that right now because we all are economically sound, economically rich. That for us, not 15 rupees, you can go anywhere and give 15 rupees and get a bottle of water. So we thought, how do we change that culture? So let's design a funky, lovely Kolapasi water bottle. Now people can buy this water bottle, and anyways, you buy a water bottle, so you can buy. And the good thing is, you can go to any Kolapasi across any Chennai or Coimbatore, and you can refill water for free. So that was the idea. So that campaign kicked off very well, and people loved the concept. Here, again, we are a people cow. In a world where everybody is trying to make money on water, we were willing to lose our revenue. Not only that, second thing is we don't sell Pepsi, Coke, or those kind of things in Kolapasi. It's because I don't consume that. So I think it's not good for me. I don't know if it's good for you or not. I think it's not good for me. So when I know it's not good for me, and if I start selling and then tell you it's good for you, you can drink, but it's not good for me, then I'll be the biggest hypocrite in the world. So we said, okay, not a problem. Let's not sell that. Even though it's so easy to make money of that, right? So when you had the first outlet, right, in Nelson Mandela Road, a lot of orders used to get cancelled just because of the fact that we're not selling Coke or Pepsi. They'll call, and the entire day we'll be waiting for, we'll be only getting 2-3 orders in the entire day. First week or first month of 2013, right? And so somebody calls, right, we'll run to the phone and we'll take the order. They'll say, oh, can you add 2 bottles of Coke? Oh, sorry, sir, we don't sell Coke. Patak. They would cancel the order just because we don't carry Coke. We've lost lots of revenue by not selling Pepsi Coke. And even if we were selling Pepsi Coke, we could easily put a combo and we could have sold by thousands, right? But we did not do that. So the same people who did not give business to us because we didn't sell Coke and Pepsi, now they come and appreciate us that for taking up a stand and sticking to a stand. So till now, 7.5 years now, we have never sold Pepsi Coke in any of our outlets. So that is something unique for us that no other brand can come and claim. So even if somebody starts today that they don't sell Pepsi or Coke, it will take another 7 years for them to come to 7 years. By the time we'll be 14 years. So we have a complete niche market that nobody can command that, right? How many brands today can come and say that we don't sell bottled water, we don't sell Pepsi, Coke? I don't know. Probably you can count them in your hands. You count them in your fingers. So what I'm trying to say is, it will take some time for people to realize who you are. Okay, action speaks so louder than words that you can't even hear what people are saying. So you have to prove to people, not just by talking, by doing it. So we had to do that and tell people that yes, we have our own values, right? It's just not business. It's just not money. It's not a business transaction, right? We also have a DNA. We also have an attitude, right? We have a character to us. So that is why we always stuck to our values. Last one, be socially responsible. So one good thing is, again, we're very happy and we are excited about that is we hire transgenders in Kolapasi, right? And it's not so commonplace to see a lot of organizations hiring transgenders. So why do we hire transgenders? It's because that we have done a lot of mistakes in the past. We as a community, right? We as people, you, me, your dad, mom, your peripa, perima, your atta, all of us as a community, we have done a lot of mistakes. In sense like we have ill-treated them. We have mistreated this entire community. We mistreated this entire community for decades together, right? What mistake did these guys do? Did these people do? Now, what mistake did they do? Is it their own mistake? Because of some hormone getting... because of some hormones getting differently expressed, right? They might look different, they might have a different voice, but they are still people like you and me. And for that, why are we punishing them so hard? So my question is to you guys, do you guys, any of you guys have given your houses rented to transgender people? I doubt it. Do you know any of your friends or do you know your parents or whatnot have given jobs to them? So if you don't give jobs to them, if you don't give a place to stay, what other options do they have? What do you think they can become? Do you think they'll become IPS officers and IAS officers? No, they have only two options left, either begging or prostitution. They have nothing else. And we have a problem if they do both, right? So we don't even give them a chance to live their life. And we also have a problem if they live their own life. True. So we thought this has to change. How this change happened to us is because our first outlet was in Nelson Mandela Road. Right behind the Nelson Mandela Road outlet, there's a huge establishment where 300 to 400 transgender women used to stay. And these are like very small, dingy hole places where you and me will not be able to live there for even for 2 hours. But there is a canal, there's a canal going, just closer to the establishment. You just cannot live there. And they have to live there because they don't have any other place to live. Nobody gives them place to live. So, and then when I was there in the outlet, I started interacting and talking to them. And only then I slowly realized that, oh my God, these are regular, normal people like you and me. And they're just being robbed. We have robbed their future. And we have to take a responsibility of that. So we thought, okay, man, let's do something about it. So we decided that when we grow big, we will give them opportunity. So sooner or later, by 2016, we started hiring them. And so that's one thing which we are very excited about, which we are very happy about. And the reason we do that is, the reason we talk about that today is not just to show off or something like that, is to inspire other people to do that, right? I've not talked about my product. I've not talked about our pricing anywhere, right? I'm talking about things which will really impact an entire community of people, right? The reason talking to you guys is, you guys in next 5 to 10 years, 20% of you guys who are listening to this call will end up as entrepreneurs. Remaining 80 people, you will be working in some big company where you might have an influence, you might have a role to play, where you can start hiring people like them, right? So that is the reason I'm talking about. It's not about throwing we hire. No, that's not the goal at all, right? If I want a business, I would be talking more about my product or cost or servicing or whatnot. I'm not talking about that at all. I didn't mention any product in Kolapasi at all, right? The whole idea is, right, when you guys grow up in the next 5-10 years, right, you make sure that you play a small role in impacting somebody else's life, right? Now, let's assume I see Google in 10 years, probably in US, in Chicago, in some airport, I meet him. And he says, sir, 10 years back, I listened to one of your talks, and today I'm working in a company, I'm a VP of a company, and we have hired 20 transgenders in our division. Oh, that will be the happiest day in my life, right? So my whole goal is to give you the raw material so that you guys can process that. So today, wherever you go, if you have any relatives who are running businesses, talk to them and say, why can't you guys, if your uncle runs a business or your dad runs a business, tell them, Dad, why can't we hire one transgender? Right? Because the moment you hire them, right, you're impacting their entire life. Because if not you, there are very, very less people who can give them jobs. If they don't get jobs, what options do they have? Again, they're in prostitution. So you're actually you're helping them to come out from a different lifestyle, and you're opening up a new future for them. So it's our duty to do that. So that is what this a business is all about. Business is not about just one-way transaction of finances. Business has to be a transaction of emotion, right? That's when business becomes a brand. A business with an emotion becomes a brand, right? If you just buy a phone and just buy an iPhone, there's a big difference. A phone, you can go and buy any random phone, Android phone, right? But there's not much of a connection to that. But then the moment you buy an Apple, right, there is an emotional connection to that. So this I'm done. My favorite quote by my favorite author, that's me. I still not finished the book. Okay. Thinking of becoming an entrepreneur is a torture. Becoming one is easier. Okay. If I have to say that in your context, like in the student context, thinking of studying for semester exam is a torture. Okay. Studying for semester exam is easier. I mean, semester exam correct. Just one day, Sunday exam, Monday exam, only the Sunday night we start studying, right? So you think you want to study, but you will never study. And then 2-3 hours before, or one night before, you start studying. So let me finish with my story of bungee jumping. I'm done. Got another five more minutes. So remember this customer Bhargavi, right? I talked about this customer Bhargavi. So Bhargavi again goes back to Singapore, and she does bungee jumping in Singapore, and she puts a video in Facebook. And I go as I go there and I put in a comment, say, hey, when I come to Singapore, I would also do bungee jumping. And I happened to go to Singapore in 2018. 2018 Jan, she puts that video. 2018 March or April, I'm in Singapore, and I call her. I mean, she knows that I'm there, and then she calls me in the morning. She says, Santosh, vada pola. Where? Oh, we are going to bungee jumping. What? Bungee jumping? Oh man, at school I've not even done high jump or long jump. Why are you calling bungee jump? No. You told that you're going to do bungee jumping. You put a comment in my course that you have to come, you have to do bungee jumping. So she gets me there. She takes me to the place. And I can't refuse because she's already done it. So the male ego is kicking in. I'm an entrepreneur. I go and give talks to a lot of colleges and whatnot, in conferences, and 1,000 people, 2,000 people, I'm talking to 2,000 people, and you're able to do a bungee jump. And then, I go there. So until then, the concept of bungee jumping was very stupid for me. Because why would somebody go to a place voluntarily? If somebody kidnaps you, takes you there, and then you go, it's fine. You voluntarily go to a place, you go 17 floors up, and then you jump. Not pay 10,000 rupees to somebody, and then you jump. Man, if somebody pays you 10,000 rupees, at least you can take the risk, right? And you have to pay 10,000 rupees, and then you have to jump. I felt this is very stupid, man. This doesn't make sense at all. Why would somebody want to do that? So I've never done that in my life. Now today, I'm there at the bungee jumping center. And I'm just recollecting myself, saying that, okay, it's okay, no big deal, even I can do it. I'm brave enough, I will be able to jump, whatnot. So I enter the place, there's a cute little Chinese girl at the reception. She says, hey, man, you look to be so confident, you look to be so positive. Generally, people are shit scared when they enter here. How are you so happy and confident? Oh, I said, that's normal for me. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't get scared about it. I'm just acting, but I was like shit scared inside. And then we go 70 floors up. So this is from where you jump. So like when I'm going in the elevator, right, slowly my entire digestive system, starts rotating, left, right, and center. It just start rotating because right, that feeling when you are in the giant wheel, like that kind of feeling I'm getting when I'm going up the elevator. And then I go there and stand on the bridge. And my biggest revelation in my life happened right there on that ledge. Okay, my Newtonian moment, like how when Newton, when he was sitting under the apple tree, right, an apple fell on his head, and he discovered gravity. Right. Similarly, my Newtonian moment happened when I stood there. So what I figured out was that the longer I keep standing on the ledge, the higher the chances that I will not jump. That means the longer you think about doing something, the higher the chances that you will not do it. Because when I stood there, my mind was shouting to my ear, through my ears, saying that, Santosh, are you stupid? Are you Indian? Why do you want to go and jump? You have a family, you have a business. Why would you want to take this risk? If something happens to you, who's going to take care of your business? Blah, blah, blah. And so my mind was shouting to my ears, and it was so logical. I mean, can you break that logic? It is perfectly logical. So if I had waited for a few more seconds there, I'm damn sure that I wouldn't have jumped. So what I did, 1, 2, 3, Gujarat, I jumped. So the point I'm trying to convey to all of you guys is today, a lot of you guys are standing on the ledge. A lot of you guys. Like a lot of you guys have a lot of dreams and ambitions, right? I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, but you're just waiting. You're just waiting. A lot of you guys, right, wanted to propose a girl, but you're waiting. Propose panlama, wanama. I love you, sollama, wanama. A lot of people want to learn karate or guitar, whatever. A lot of people want to do six-pack, want to keep a six-pack. Something or the other. A lot of you want to start a business, you want to start an app, you want to build a technology startup or whatnot. You guys thinking, but you're thinking, waiting. So my humble advice is, just jump. You will figure it out. Right? You don't have to think too much. Yes, you might fail, and most probably you will fail. And I've failed so many times that I've lost count of it. Right? So most probably you will fail, but that's an experience. That is how you learn how not to do things. Right? So with this, I'm done. That's my. This is our outlet, latest outlet in Coimbatore. No, this is the first outlet in Coimbatore. He's the youngest franchisee. Now he's been beaten up by somebody else. Another guy is 24 years old. He's the youngest franchisee. Now Gautam, who's the owner of Saranapati outlet. So that's my Instagram handle. That's Kolapasi handle. And Santosh_Muruganandam is my handle. Feel free to follow me if it's going to be any use to you guys. With this, I'm done. Back to you guys. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Now it's out. Yeah. It's a great pleasure to have a session. It's a great kind of thing that ஒரு entrepreneur ஒரு journey வந்து எப்படி இருக்குங்கிறது, so not in the slide also, it's a real path, it's a real way that what you explain. So இந்த மாதிரி விஷயம் தான். So like people have to jump it. Still they don't wait for the chances. The opportunity will knock one time only. So until we can't wait for them. So like it's a train passenger மாதிரி தான். So whenever you get a passenger, whenever you get a co-passenger, you have to get the knowledge from co-passenger. The journeyல யாரு வேணா நம்மள வரலாம். ஸோ நம்ம யாரோட அட்வைஸ் எடுத்துட்டு போறோம், ஸோ எந்த அளவுக்கு நம்ம அடுத்த ஸ்டெப்ல மூவ் ஃபார்வர்ட் ஆகிறோம். ஸோ லைக் இஃப் யூ ஹாவ் சம்திங் பேஷன் இன் லவ் ஆர் டுவர்ட்ஸ் சம்திங், ஒரு ப்ரொபோஸ் பண்ணதா இருக்கட்டும், இல்லை ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் அச்சீவ் பண்ண வேண்டிய விஷயமா இருக்கட்டும், பட் யூ ஹேவ் டு அட்டெம்ப்ட் இட். அன்டில் அட்டெம்ப்டிங் ஹவ் கேன் வி சே தட் வி ஸ்டில் டிடன்ட் ட்ரை இட், நம்ம எப்படி சொல்ல முடியும்? ஸோ இது வந்து நான் வந்து எனக்கு கிடைக்கல அப்படிங்கிற விஷயம், கிடைக்கலங்கிற விஷயம் நம்ம ட்ரை பண்ண தான் கிடைக்கும். ஸோ ஐ திங்க் சந்தோஷ் அவரோட ஜேர்னிலே நம்ம தெரிஞ்சிருக்கோம். சந்தோஷ் சொன்ன விஷயம் சரி, ஸோ கொலப்பசி டிராவல் பண்ண வே, அதே மாதிரி ஸோ ஒரு ஆண்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப் பண்ணது நாம நீங்க சொன்ன விஷயம் தான் நிறைய பேர் சொல்லிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. ஸோ எல்லாமே எங்களை வந்து டார்ச்சர் தான் கொடுக்குறாங்க. எதுக்காக டார்ச்சர் கொடுக்கணும்? ஸோ எதுக்காக ஆண்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப் உள்ள பண்ணணும்? ஸோ இனி வர சினாரியோஸ் தெர் இஸ் அ ஹியூஜ் ஃபோக்கஸ் ஃபார் செல்ஃப் எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட். ஸோ என்னோட கொஸ்டின் சொல்ல முடியாது, என்னோட ஜஸ்ட் உங்ககிட்ட இருந்து என்ன இன்புட் வேணும்னா, so mostly we have given lecture towards youngsters to start up. Some of the startups, some of our students, some of them are from some other different scenarios. So இனி வர scenarios எப்படி இருக்கும், உங்களோட இன்புட்ஸ் என்ன, லைக் how you promote them, how you inspire them, லைக் இப்போ நீங்க இன்ஸ்பயர் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க, லைக் ஸோ அவங்களோட டிராவல் எப்படி போகணும்னு நீங்க சஜஸ்ட் பண்றீங்க? லைக் மேபி தே ஹாவ் அ பேஷன், மே தே ஹேவிங் ஆம்பிஷன்ஸ், லைக் பட் இனிமேல் இருக்கிற மார்க்கெட் செக்மெண்ட்ஸ் எப்படி இருக்கும், லைக் செல்ஃப் எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்டா இல்லை எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட்ஸா? ஸோ அதை பத்தி ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு லைன்ல நீங்க சொல்லணும்னா என்ன சொல்லலாம்?
There is not much of a difference between employment and entrepreneur. A lot of people think that employment na vera, entrepreneurship na vera. Yeah, entrepreneurship is a little bit more difficult. You have to figure out a lot more things. But employment and entrepreneurship are actually two sides of the same coin, because if not, without an entrepreneur, there's no jobs, and without creating jobs, you cannot become an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur or a formula way is to create more jobs. That's why he's called an entrepreneur. If a doctor thinking, or a plumber thinking, electrician thinking, they're not entrepreneurs. They're self-employed. இன்னைக்கு நான் கிளினிக் போலனா எனக்கு காசு கிடையாது. But entrepreneur is one some person who builds a system, and the system will generate revenue, right? So a lot of people have this misconception that that employment where entrepreneurship where, but to be a good entrepreneur, okay, you can also first be a good employee first, because if you're a good employee, you will understand what runs in an organization, right? In my words, let me explain or define what is employment. Okay, listen carefully, because this will completely change the way you think about employment. Employment is the only place in the world where somebody pays you to become an entrepreneur in the future. Okay? I'll repeat it. Employment is the only place in the world where someone pays you to become an entrepreneur in the future, because every other place you pay. When you go to school, you pay school fees, right? They don't pay you. You pay school fees to learn. Right? When you go to college, university, you pay college fees to learn. But when you go to a job, what do? You're actually learning that enterprise. Let's assume if you want to start a restaurant, you'll have to spend 30-40 lakhs, right? Rather, if you go work in a restaurant, they're going to pay you salary, but you will also learn how to build that 30-40 lakhs in a restaurant. If they build money, you'll be able to figure it out by being there. So you are learning such a big system at a fraction of a cost which is paid by them, but by spending a fraction of your time. So your investment is time, nothing else. So if you want to become an entrepreneur, you can actually pick up a field and go there and work there for 6 months or 2, until maybe a few years, until you get a hold of it. That means you're learning in somebody else's money, because somebody else is invested to create that system, create that business module for you guys. So you will work with jolly kathikalam. நீங்க வந்து if you have a typical employee mindset, நான் போறேன், நான் 10 மணி நேரம் வேலை செய்யறேன், காசு நான் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா நீங்க ஒண்ணுமே கத்துக்க முடியாது. Right? So job employment is a beautiful place for you guys to learn about entrepreneurship. What else you want? So this is how I see an employee. So first, be a great employee, and then you will automatically learn enough things to become an entrepreneur. So you don't have to. Employment is not bad, and entrepreneurship is not great. Both are good. Both have has its own flaws. Like you're comparing a cycle and a bike. Cycle ஒரு plus and minus இருக்கு, bike ஒரு plus and minus இருக்கு. Cycle na நீ எப்படினாலும் ஓட்டு போயிட்டே இருக்கலாம். பைக் na பெட்ரோல் இல்ல பெட்ரோல் பங்க்ல ஓட்டவே முடியாது. Right? So it's got its own pluses, it's got its own minus. So nothing is right and wrong. Just because he's an entrepreneur doesn't mean he's super. And just because he's an employee, waste. There's nothing with that.
Fine, sir. Fine. We are getting good feedbacks. That session was inspiring and deep motivation. And also we got one feedback from Nana Arvind. So what troubles you faced while starting Kolapasi? So from
I needed 10 hours or 10 days to talk about all the trouble. It's a trouble. It's trouble. Manpower was the biggest trouble. Marketing was the biggest trouble. Advertising, branding, logistics, distribution, getting the food delivered, everything was a problem. So the reason an entrepreneur exists is to solve problems. Why there is a king in a kingdom? Kingdom, because the role of the king is to solve the problems. Right? The day you don't have problems, then you're not an entrepreneur anymore. Right? So that is why you are required there. So everything is going to be a problem in a business because you will have limited resources. We are not a multinational company, right? We're not funded by anybody. So you will only have limited resources for you. And the limited resources which you will have to build something with that. So that's the role of an entrepreneur. Almost everything is a problem.
Exactly. So I think we got some personal message also through phone also. So for people from students, avangaloda requirements enna pathina. So like we can have a campus itself, we have some spaces requirement is there. So like if Kolapasi shown interest to give a franchisee, like not as a commercial model, like we around 3 or 4 people can work together as a part-time in the college itself. So Kolapasi will come for this option like that they're asking, but not as a commercial model like that they're asking. So they can run it by themselves, but with very few investment like that, with your brand name.
We can definitely do that. We can look into that. Unit economics, number of students in there, and probably it's a model where we can take turns. People can, in 1 month, these 2 people can run. The next one, other 2 people can run. So you understand customer engagement, customer service, production, logistics, and whatnot. So you learn a little bit about what happens in service business. So that's a great idea.
Vision. So we
plan a captive audience in your college.
I'm not getting. Exactly. So we can work together after that. So we'll plan it accordingly. So I hope we have a good session today. Sure. So anyway, I will be getting in touch with you, so then we can have a good things will be surely get done. Sure, maybe once the pandemic situation getting cured about, then we can go for that one. I think we have a grateful session today. I think you can share your inspired story. I think people also getting interacted. It's a great thing from. Actually, I'm also seeing too many replies. Normally, we can't expect this one. Normally, people will think that we are from college. Also, they're getting more sessions as a class hours and also as a Google Meet. And after that, getting technical webinars. So apart from that, through incubators, so we are conducting through entrepreneur series. It's an innovator speech series. Normally, we are conducting like that only. Anyway, through you, so we got some good responses from the students and as well as from startups. As you said, we can have a tie-up with the students also as one of the partners with Kolapasi. We will have, like what you said, 25 youngster got franchisee from your side. Like that, we will have the blood maybe from 20 plus and 18 plus. So surely we will have that one. So we'll meet you in person once the situation comes normal. Then we'll have our open meeting session like that one. Thank you, Mr. Santosh, to have today's